Welcome back to the Belleville Sports Club social media accounts to episode 28 of the Lancer Conversation. A big week here at Belleville with homecoming. Both teams, our sports teams, very active. And a big one here with our football team. A big home game this Friday against Edwardsville, homecoming game. And with that, I'm joined here by the great head coach for that football team, Coach Harrison. Appreciate the time of joining me as always.
Hey, man, thanks for having me again. I appreciate it.
I mean, you guys, these last few weeks, start of the year, have been huge, and it keeps getting huger. As last week, you guys pull out a 31-28 win over O'Fallon, comeback fashion. What was your thoughts on this fifth victory of the year for you guys?
Yeah, it was obviously it was exciting end of the football game. It came down to a final play, and fortunately we were able to be successful. So you have a game like that. You come back, and obviously I'm excited for the guys, excited that we won the game in that exciting fashion. And then we get in film on Monday, and we start breaking it down and saying, man, if we capitalize on some of these things, if we don't have quite as many penalties, it doesn't need to come down to that final play.
Exactly. Yeah.
I felt like, again, we talked about it, I think, last time. We were in command of the game.
Yep.
Most of the game, we have a couple turnovers, a couple of big runs, and then obviously the penalties killed us all day. But it put us in that situation where we had to, lead a 2-minute drive to score there at the end of the game. So, again, excited. We haven't been 5-1 in a long time. But we also know, man, our best football is still ahead of us. We haven't played a full game yet where we're playing our best football and clicking on all cylinders. So looking forward to another opportunity to do that.
It's funny you bring up, guys controlled most of the game. That's really my next question. I was going to talk about that and that Collinsville game. Both of those games you guys led for a good majority, and then the lead goes to the other team. For you, though, what does it mean for you guys now? Because that's twice now you guys have been able to come back. What does that show to you guys?
That this group's resilient. I mean, we knew it all along, but we keep putting ourselves in situations where we have to prove it again and again and again. Yeah. We got there on Friday, or I guess that was Saturday. We played in that game on Saturday, and even when O'Fallon scored and took the lead, our guys didn't put their heads down. They didn't start, whining and complaining. Again, the seniors, those captains, Harrington, Mitchell, Vincent as a quarterback came over to the sideline and said, hey, guys, we've been in this situation before. We know what we got to do. We got to go out here and execute. And the guys knew that we were going to go down and score. And so it's nice to see a group that is confident in themselves and they don't panic or get worried when we're in those situations. Again, we got to do our best to stay out of those situations, though.
5-1 now for you guys. That takes a lot of work behind the scenes. What have the guys been doing behind the scenes to make this on-field product possible?
The thing that I kind of talked to them about all off season was that you don't start winning football games on Friday night on kickoff.
Yeah.
Right. All of that work. You win football games in the off season. We win Friday night based off of how we do during the week. So what does practice look like on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday? Because when the kickoff comes, you pretty much know what to expect. And so the guys have been working hard. They put in a lot of work this offseason in the weight room. We had great numbers all summer long in terms of the weight room, and then all of our summer workouts and conditioning. Again, lit it up, got after it a little bit in the summer in terms of summer camp. And then really this season, it was just kind of putting the icing on the cake. Again, most of the work has been put in already. Now it's just kind of cleaning up the details.
Yeah. And again, talk about coming through late, though. How big is it for you guys to get that experience to come in late? How big is that going to help you guys, come in clutch? How's that big going to help you guys in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be important because, again, when we find ourselves in those situations, it won't be the first time that it's happened.
Yeah.
Again, you can simulate that situation over and over and over again in practice, but it's a little bit different when there's people in the stands. And so, again, that's the second time this year that we had to lead a 2-minute drive, upwards of 90 yards to go down and score a touchdown to take the lead. So just having that experience to fall back on, I think will at least give us a card in the pocket if we find ourselves in this situation again.
For you, that's your first win versus O'Fallon, your coaching tenure here at Belleville. To you, what does that mean to finally beat a conference rival that's kind of beat up on us for these last 2 years?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, I feel like. Again, we hadn't been able to get them yet. Always playing, good games and close games, I think. Maybe with the exception of 1 year in there where it kind of got ugly. But no, it was good to beat O'Fallon. Our guys know those guys. We grew up across the street from those guys. We played on the same little league teams as those guys, and so the O'Fallon game is always a big one. And to finally be able to come out on top of one of those feels pretty good, pretty rewarding.
I know, I'm not sure there's not a lot of people talking about this, but 5 wins now. You guys reached your win goal from last year. You guys also will be a playoff team most likely coming in October. How big is that for you for right now? Obviously, I know that's not your goal right now, but take a look at it now. How big is it for you?
Honestly, that's one of our long-term goals. One of our season goals is to make the playoffs. And so, again, 5 wins, we're eligible. We're technically not in yet. We win one more and we are in the playoffs. But for our guys just talking to the guys on the team, that hasn't even, hasn't come up. It hadn't even been a point of conversation. It's literally been like, hey, who do we play this week? Okay, hey, let's go out and get it and make sure we concentrating on the next game. Again, one of the things that we talk about is, man, the next game that we play is the biggest game of the season. And it doesn't matter who the opponent is. It just so happens that this week is Edwardsville, but after that, the next game will be the biggest game of the season. And so trying to keep our guys focused on making sure we go out and accomplish what we need to do next has been one of our main goals and main things that we are trying to emphasize with the players.
For this year, what have you seen on the offensive side of the ball? Because you guys have scored already 180 points this year, and I went back to last year. At this point, coming into this week, you guys only scored 141, so there's an improvement.
So, I didn't know. I mean, I knew we were scoring more. I didn't know, that was the thing. One of the things is I feel like we are more well-rounded than we've ever been. You look out when we're on the field offensively, and, you point a finger at one of those skill guys, and we feel confident that guy could take it to the house. Whether we're talking about the receivers, Marlon, Justin, Keelan, Dez, Waller has some long touchdowns.
Yeah.
And when you give the ball, turn around and hand it to Brandon, he's the fastest, one of the fastest guys on the team. So Brandon and Chase, and again, that didn't even mention Moody, Dez Clark. Again, it doesn't matter who we give the ball to. We feel comfortable and confident. And so with that being said, offensively, we didn't totally change what we do. But we're a little bit quicker tempo, trying to get those guys some more touches and get those guys some more opportunities to score points.
Last home game of the regular season, homecoming, saw kind of a big game for you guys against Edwardsville. It was undefeated 6-0. How hyped are those guys for this week?
Well, I think a couple of things. Number one, it's homecoming week, and as much as we emphasize it, that my message to the team, our message is homecoming is for everybody else, right? Like, obviously it's pretty cool to walk around campus today and see people dressed up in costumes. We still got practice today. We still got a game. And that home game is a lot more fun when you're coming off a win on Friday night than if we go out and don't take care of business. So the message to those guys in terms of homecoming is, hey guys, it's cool, enjoy it, have spirit, but let's keep the main thing, and the main thing is this football game on Friday night.
Yeah.
And again, on the other end of that, we talk about our opponent. Edwardsville is going to be, the best team that we played so far this year. Yep. They're coming off a pretty dominant win last week. Again, they've dominated a lot of their opponents this week. So for us, looking at our opponent and respecting our opponent, we got to understand that we got a challenge ahead of us. At the same time, if we concentrate on us, we do the things that we're supposed to do, we execute the way we're supposed to execute, we play the way we're supposed to play, the winning and the losing part takes care of itself. So trying to portray all of those messages to our guys, and I think our guys understand that. They know the situation that we're in. They understand how big and how important this game is going to be. And they're focused and confident and ready to go out and have a good game on Friday night.
You guys last year played Edwardsville, lost on the road in double OT, 28-21. That was a game you guys were down 14-0 at the half. Yeah. What do you know about them since then and coming into this one?
Yeah, they have a stud at quarterback.
Yeah, he is. He's incredible.
Again, SIU Carbondale.
Yep, SIU
offered or committed or something like that. And we've seen him again. We all know each other, right? So we've seen them this summer. We know guys on their team. We know how talented they are. They got a receiver that's a big-time guy, a guy that plays DB, that plays corner, a kick returner that is a stud as well. So, and that's not to mention they got the big kid, Epinesa, up front. Like,
oh, yeah.
It's no secret, when you get to this point in the season, when you get to a conference school, there's not a lot of secrets. Like, they know who we have, we know who they have. It's going to be a lot of, just who does it better and going out and executing. Last year, again, we played them extremely close. Came down to, double overtime game, came down to a play that I thought we should have converted on to win the game. But we've always played Edwardsville close since I've been here. Again, another opponent that we haven't beat yet since I've been here.
There you go.
So, looking forward to another opportunity where we get to go at them and hopefully we can get that first win against Edwardsville.
Finish this one off. What do you think is one thing going really well for you guys? One thing you'd like to improve on before Friday?
So one thing we obviously got to clean up our penalties.
Yeah.
Coming out of Saturday's game, you're not going to beat good football teams with that many penalties and giving up that much free yardage. So that's been a point of emphasis this week, is to, again, the physical and aggressive penalties, we can kind of handle those. It's the mental mistakes that we can't handle. So cleaning up some of that stuff. In terms of what we're doing well, again, the guys are competing. I think one thing about this group more than maybe some of the other groups is, they take pride in not taking a play off. Our guys get, visibly upset when they give up a play or when they have a bad play. So, they're confident. They're a confident bunch, and they pride themselves on doing well. So we got that going for us. Hopefully we can keep it rolling, and hopefully that turns into a win on Friday night.
Well, Coach Harrison, you're awesome. Appreciate the time joining
Hey,
us always.
thank you, man. Appreciate the job you do, man. Keep it up.
Thank you.